Hi, this is Nika from the Seeker Society. In this video, I'm going to walk you through each page of the Ultimate Finance Tracker. Let's go ahead and get started. So when you open the link in the PDF file, this is the first thing you will see. On the upper right-hand corner, please click on Duplicate, and it will duplicate your template onto your Notion account. So finally, the Ultimate Finance Tracker has been fully duplicated onto my Notion account. So firstly, please go to the Quick Setup page. So first, if your currency is not in the US dollar, please change the currency of each of these properties right here until the last one. It might be a bit troublesome to do, but you only have to do this once. So to change the currency, please click on each of these properties, go to Edit Property, and under the number format, please select your currency. So I'm just gonna keep it at US dollar, but if you are gonna change the currency, please do it on each of these properties. So the last one you will change would be this property right here. So next, please input in your existing accounts and their current balances. So these would include your cash, your savings accounts, any debit cards you might have, and if you have any loans or student loans, mortgages, you also include them here. So if we add all of these together, then we would have an idea of your net worth. So please make sure to input accurate balances in this database because this is going to be the beginning balance of your different accounts. So next, let's move on to the income categories. In the finance tracker, I've already included some default income categories. However, you can freely add in any categories you might have. So please click on the plus new button if you want to add in a new category. And if you want to delete any of the default categories, just click on this six-dotted icon and click on delete. So next is the expense categories. It is also the same as the income categories. And these categories would be your options when you're selecting the category of your transaction. So you can always add categories along the way, so don't worry about this too much. Next, if you'd like to track your bills through the bill tracker, you can add your bills right here. So I've also included the most common bills, but you can always just add more, and you can add as many as you need. Next, you can form financial goals in the financial goals page. So some of the common goals that you might have would be to pay off all your debt, to create an emergency fund, and to build good credit. So you can just delete, customize this area, and you can see all of these goals that you've set up in the financial goals page. Next, you might want to create healthy financial habits. So this would be like your habit tracker. So for example, as your daily financial habit, you would want to cook your own meals to save some money. And in the evening, you want to make a habit of checking your bank accounts and tracking your income and expenses. So these are just examples. And each of these checkboxes correspond to a day of the week. So you can just customize this according to your needs. I'm gonna go back to this later on when we go to the financial habits page. So that is the quick setup page. You can go back to the finance homepage through this link. After entering all your accounts and their current balances, all you would have to do is to enter in your income, expense, and transfer entries. So I'm going to go through this one by one. So your income entry is basically any funds that go into your account. So the common income transactions that you might have would include your paycheck, any interest income, dividends, commissions, bonuses. So these are just some examples. In the new income transaction, you would have this table right here. So the most important fields in this table would be the timeline, the date, the destination account, the category, the description, the amount, and lastly, the submit checkbox. So the timeline is just the month and year, and this is important so you can see an overview of your income and expenses for this month, as well as the total. So it's going to be income minus your expenses. So I know that it could be a bit troublesome to always enter in your transaction with the timeline being blank. So I've made the system. I'm just going to delete this first. I've made a system to automatically show the timeline without you having to enter it manually each time you enter a transaction. So through here, please enter in the current month and year. So today is October 2022. So just click on this. And when you've set this up, each time you add in a new entry to the income transaction, it'll automatically have this timeline already filled out. So once the new month comes in, just change in this filter. So for example, I'm going to enter in an income transaction for today. And from here in the destination account, this just means that this is the account that the amount was put into. So for this example, I'm just going to use bank name savings. And income category, let's say I received my paycheck. And in the description, you can write anything. So like you could write paycheck for the week of, but I'm just gonna write a paycheck. If you have any receipts or any documents you want to refer to later on, you can add it here as well. So just click choose a file, and then next, please enter in the income amount. So for example, I received $1,000 for my paycheck. And lastly, please click on submit to record a transaction. So that is it. The transaction has already been recorded. And below the income entry page, I've also included other databases which might come in handy when you're entering a new income transaction. So for example, you want to enter in an income transaction to an account that is not yet in the Ultimate Finance Tracker, then you can easily add your new account right here through the plus new button. So just click on the button, enter in your name, the account category, and enter in your beginning balance. And you can also click on these templates, which will automatically give the new account an icon. So that is just one tip. Another section that I have here is the income category. So if you have a new income category that you will use for your new income transaction, you can just add this here. As for this section, this is the new account category. So just a few seconds ago, I've entered in a new account right here. In this property, the category property, the source of this property is this database. So as you can see, like this is cash, this is considered an asset, this is reflected here. So if you have a new account and you don't have the account category yet, you can add the account category here as well. So next, let's go to the expense entry. It's really pretty much the same thing. The only difference between the income entry and the expense entry is the source account. So a while ago in the income entry page, it was the destination account because this is where the funds will go to. However, because this is an expense transaction, so any amount that you enter here will be a deduction to the account. So this is where the funds will come from, the source account. And the same goes for the bottom of the expense entry page. You can add in new accounts, categories, and new account categories. Next is the transfer entry page. This will come in handy if you want to transfer funds between your different accounts. So for example, let's enter in an example transaction. So I'm going to enter the date today. And under source account, this means this is where the funds will originally come from. So for example, I want to transfer funds from bank name savings to the destination account. So for example, I want to transfer it onto cash. So in this case, I might have gotten it through the ATM, or I withdrew money from the bank. So this is an example transaction. So I'm just gonna write withdraw. And for example, I withdrew $500. And once you've looked into the details and confirmed everything's correct, you can click on the submit button. If during your transfer you incurred some bank fees, you can also easily input them here. This is similar to the expense entry table. So just write the timeline, the date, and the other properties accurately. Another way you can use the transfer entry page is to pay off your debt. So for example, you have a personal loan and you want to pay it off using your savings account. So just click on your savings as your source account, and as your destination account, click on the debt account. So this one is your personal loan. I'm just going to complete the details here. And next, write in your description. So you can say paid off personal loan. And enter in the amount. So let's say you paid $150. So please take note that the personal loan is currently $200 and I'm going to pay off $150. So later on, the balance of the personal loan should be $50. So I'm going to click on submit. So that is it for the transfer entry page. Let's look at the transactions that we've just entered. In the all transactions page, you can see all the transactions you have entered so far. So this is the all transactions page. In the day-to-day, you can see the 3 transactions that we've just entered. So this is your income, the withdrawal, and the payment of the personal loan. So here you can see a summary of the current month's transactions. This automatically updates as the month progresses. And also you can see some transaction reports right here. So this is your daily transaction reports. These are your weekly, and you can also look at the other views right here. You can also use the filter functions. So for example, you only want to see the transactions of a certain month. You can click on these filters. The other pages of the transactions area are also the same, except the income only shows income transactions, the expense only expense transactions, and so on. Next is the yearly overview page. So this is the basis of the timeline property in the entry pages. So for example, the months and the years are no longer available for selection when you enter in your income, expense, and transfer transactions. Just add in more entries to this database. So once December 2025 has passed and you need to create a new entry for January 2026, just click on the plus new button and enter in the rest of the months right here. So here you can see that the database automatically summarizes the income, the expenses, and the total amounts that you had for a particular month. So for October, for example, you earned $6,125 so far, and you spent a total of $2,450. So deducting the expenses from your income, we get this total. So everything in this database is automatically calculated as you enter in more transactions to the Ultimate Finance Tracker. You can also look through the other views available in the yearly overview page. So if you want to filter this by year, just click on this filter right here and enter in the year. You can also see this with the table view. So this is how it would look like. Next is the income by category page. This is where you can see your income categories as well as totals of the particular category per week, per month, per year, and of all time. So for the current week, so far we've recorded paycheck to have $2,025. For the current month, we've recorded $6,125 for paycheck. And for the year, you can see that we've recorded $52,650 for the paycheck, and the rest of the categories also have some values to them. And these are all automatically calculated as you add in more income transactions. The same goes for expense by category. So it just shows you your biggest expenses, and you can also see the notification center for a summary of your biggest expense categories. Next is the accounts page. So this is where you will see all your different accounts. So you can set this up in the quick setup page, but you can also add in more accounts here. So to add a new account, just click on the plus new button, enter in your account name, category, just select from these selections here, And type will automatically populate as you enter in your category and enter in your beginning balance right here. So that's all you need to do to create a new account, and the rest of the calculations will be done by the template for you. You can also look at your transactions per account. So just click on the destination account and source account filter. Please make sure to put in the same account for both of these filters to show accurate results in the transactions by account. And also you can see a summary of all your accounts through here. So this is just a total of all your account balances. So this is your total net worth. And you can also add in more account categories here if needed, but I've already included the most common categories. Oh, I also forgot to mention a while ago that when you enter in a new liability account, please make sure to enter the beginning balance as a negative, because if you enter it as a positive amount, the template will recognize it as an asset and it will be added on to the rest of the accounts. So to show accurate figures, please make sure to put in the negative sign together with the balance of your liability account. So next is the budget tracker. This is one of the most unique features of this template. You can track your budgets from January to December of the current year with ease, and everything is automatically calculated. So firstly, please set up your budget for each month per category right here. You can see a sum of your budget for your expenses through the sums right here at the bottom of the table. If you have similar budgets across different months, you can just quickly copy and paste the figures to the different months. So for example, I'm going to select January, and you can also select the rest of the cells. And with my keyboard, just click on Control C or Command C to copy the cells and move on to the next column and just click on Paste, which is Command V or Control V. So it automatically pastes the values to the other columns. So I'm just going to undo this. Okay, so that's just a quick tip for you to quickly add in your budget across different months. And with that, once you've set up your budget and start entering your transactions, you will automatically see your progress right here. So this is arranged by month. So for January, for example, you have set this as your budget, and based on the transactions so far, you have entered in $2,000. So based on the rent category, you're over your budget. You can see your progress bar right here. Aside from the budget tracker, you can also see a summary of your expenses for each month through the monthly expenses by category. So these are all automatic and they update as you add in more transactions. So you can also see the totals at the bottom of the table. Next is the sinking funds page. This is where you can create your sinking funds and also track the balances of your sinking funds. So to add a new sinking fund, please go to the section right here, click on the plus new button and enter the name of your sinking fund. Enter in your goal date. So you would want to accomplish this certain amount on a certain day. So for example, I want to accomplish this next year. I'm just gonna click on this. And a goal amount, say you want to save $1,000. And since this is a new sinking fund, I'm gonna set this balance to 0. But if you've already had the sinking fund previously, just enter in the beginning balance here. So you will see your new sinking fund right here. If you want to enter in a new deposit to your new sinking fund, please click on the plus new button under the new deposit or withdrawal section. Enter in the date, the sinking fund, and the description. So deposit for October, for example. And right here, enter the amount. So let's say I'm going to deposit $100 to that sinking fund. Click on submit. And you will see that the new sinking fund already has $100 updated automatically. If you want to withdraw from your sinking fund, just click on the withdrawal view and do the same process. At the bottom of the page, you can also see all your transactions, whether deposit or withdrawal. So you can see a history here, filtered by year, by month, and of all time. Next is the bill tracker. You can track when your bills are due, and the template would automatically alert you if a bill is due today or if the bill is due very soon. So, for example, today is the 7th of October. So, if, for example, water is due on the 7th, which is today, you will see that the notification center will update you automatically that you have one bill due today. So I'm just going to change this back to 1. And as you can see, the notification disappeared. Another upcoming bill that you would have is your credit card, which is due in 3 days. So the notification center updates you that you have one bill due in less than 7 days. So if we add another bill that is due in less than 7 days, like this one, for example, you'll see that the notification center updates to 2 bills. And this means credit card and internet, these are the bills due in less than 7 days. So once you've made a payment for a particular bill, just click on the checkbox which corresponds to the month. So if this month is October and you've already paid for your water bill, just click on this checkbox right here. Next is the subscription tracker. So this is just a database for you to track all your subscriptions, all your active and inactive ones, as well as categorize them. It also calculates your subscriptions monthly and annual price. And the calculations are based on this property right here, which is billing. So for example, for Spotify, you indicated that this is billed monthly. And in the paid price property, you enter that you pay $9.99 monthly for Spotify. So in the monthly price column, you'll see that the template automatically recognizes that you pay $9.99 monthly. So the monthly price is $9.99. For the annual price, this is just $9.99 multiplied by 12. So per year, you spend $119 for Spotify. However, if we look into Skillshare, this is billed annually. As you can see, based on your paid price, this is $168. The template automatically recognizes that the annual price of Skillshare is $168, and the monthly price is just $168 divided by 12. Please note, however, that the subscription tracker is not connected to the transactions pages. So if you enter in any amounts in the paid price, you would still have to record this amount to the expense entry page. You can also see how much you spend per subscription category through this database. So this just sums up all of the transactions that have this category. So for example, for food, the annual price is $4,800. So this is just HelloFresh. And as you can see, the annual price is $4,800. Next is the wishlist page. This is where you can enter in any items you would want to purchase and are saving up for. So for example, you have the MacBook Air. Just click on this property and enter in the category, the date of interest, the target date, which is just the date when you want to purchase this item, and enter in the price, upload a photo, and if you're saving for it, you can enter in the amount right here. So far you've saved $350. And based on the price, you have $1,149 left to save. And you can also see your progress right here. So that is how you add to your wish list. And if you've purchased this, please just click on the purchase checkbox right here. Once you've ticked this checkbox, it will be transferred onto the purchased view right here. You can also see a summary of your wish list through the notification center. Next is the income goals page. This is pretty similar to the budget tracker, so I'm not gonna go too in depth with this page. But much like the budget tracker, please just enter in your income goals for each category for each month. So for paycheck, for example, in January, you expect to receive $10,000 for this paycheck category. And at the bottom of the page, you can also see a summary of your income per month for each category. So this automatically sums up your transactions. And in the income goals database, it just compares your budget against your actual income. And it also shows you your progress and progress bar automatically. Next is the financial habits page. So this is where you can enter in habits and you can also track them. So each checkbox right here corresponds to a day of the week. You can check what day it starts by going to this part of the database and clicking on properties. So as you can see, this is arranged by Sunday to Saturday. If you want to start on Monday, just transfer Sunday to the bottom part of the property by dragging it down. So today is Saturday, so you would use the last portion of the checkboxes right here. So just tick on this if you've already done it. You can also go to the weekly habit tracker. Just enter in your new weekly habit here, and once you've done it for that certain day, then click on this checkbox. To easily refresh the checkboxes every week, I've made this system so that you don't have to manually check and uncheck all of these checkboxes every time you start a new week. So the secret to this is just to uncheck one box, and from there, in your keyboard, click on Command C or Control C to copy the unchecked checkbox. And from there, hold your Shift key and use your right arrow key to select the rest of the checkboxes. And now I'm going to use my down arrow while still clicking on my Shift key. And from there, once all the checkboxes have been selected, just click on Command V or Control V on your keyboard to paste the unchecked checkbox to all the rest of the checkboxes. So I'm going to do that. And there you have it. All the checkboxes are unchecked easily. Next is the financial goals page. So in this page, you can add in short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. So for short-term, this just means any goals that you would want to achieve within the year. And for midterm, this would take 2 to 5 years to accomplish. And for long-term, this would be a lot more years. So you could separate your goals through this, and you could also see a quick overview of them through this database. So enter in the dates like the deadline, start date, and the finish date. And you can also track the status of each of your goals right here. So that is it for the Ultimate Finance Tracker. Thank you so much for watching this video tutorial. I hope you enjoy using this template as I poured so much time and thought into making this. So that is it for now. Thank you so much. Bye.